All right, get ready for a deep dive into a life it'll leave you inspired and wondering how she does it all. We're talking about Dr. Sana Sejan, and let me tell you, her interview, it had me taking notes like crazy.
I can see why. Yeah, not every day you come across someone who can just effortlessly navigate, you know, medicine, business, philanthropy, and all while being a dedicated mom. She's the definition of multi-hyphenate.
Right, and the listener who sent this in was particularly drawn to Dr. Sajan's energy and her unique perspective on success, which honestly, we'll get into that whole almost became a monk thing later because, wow, it's fascinating.
Yes, yes. Let's unpack that. But first, let's talk about what struck you about her approach to life and work. What
Mhm.
resonated with you from the interview?
Honestly, for me, it was her ability to defy categorization. She's a doctor from a family of doctors, so that path was practically laid out for her. But she also embraced entrepreneurship, philanthropy, motherhood, all with the same passion. It's like she's proving you don't have to choose just one path.
And that's such an important message, especially for women who are often pressured to fit into these neat little
Mhm.
boxes. And Dr. Sajan uses this great analogy of the Davi, the Indian goddess, with 10 arms each holding a different tool. It resonated with you because she's living proof that you can be multidimensional, embracing all aspects of yourself. How many arms do you juggle in your own life?
Yeah.
Her story encourages us to embrace all those roles without apology.
Absolutely. And she does it all with this incredible optimism. Even just reading the transcript, you can practically hear her smiling. You can feel her energy. It made me wonder, is that just her personality or is there something more to it?
That's a great question. And it's actually something researchers are studying extensively. It turns out that positive emotions, well, they aren't just about feeling good. They actually contribute to greater resilience, better problem-solving skills, and even more effective leadership.
So it's not just about being cheerful all the time, but it's about approaching challenges with this constructive mindset. It's that can-do spirit, and it's contagious. It's inspiring.
Precisely. And that leads us to another fascinating aspect of Dr. Sajan, her incredible time management skills.
Hmm.
Get ready to be amazed by how she structures her day. We're talking kids, gym, multiple businesses, family time, and even social events.
Okay, seriously, how does she fit it all in? I'm exhausted just thinking about it.
Right. It's like she's defying the laws of time and space. But here's the thing. She's not superhuman.
So what's her secret?
She's just incredibly intentional with her time.
Okay.
In the interview, she talks about planning her day the night before,
Really?
like down to the minute. Yeah.
Wow.
Using her calendar not just as a scheduling tool, but also to mentally prepare for what's ahead.
Hmm. That's so smart. I'm lucky if I remember to even check my calendar in the morning, let alone plan it out the night before.
But think about it for a moment. How much smoother would your mornings go
Yeah.
if you knew exactly what you needed to tackle and when?
Oh, for sure.
That pre-planning, it eliminates decision fatigue and allows you to just hit the ground running.
That's a great point. It's like laying out your outfit the night before.
Hmm.
Instead of scrambling in the morning, you're ready to conquer the day.
Exactly. And the other half of Dr. Sajan's productivity equation, delegation.
Oh, right, of course.
She's a huge believer in building a strong team, emphasizing trust, shared vision, and empowering others to take ownership.
Which makes sense given that she's running multiple businesses. I mean, it's impossible to do everything yourself.
Exactly. And this is where her leadership style comes in. She talks about learning from both her husband and her father-in-law, both successful business leaders,
Right.
but she emphasizes that her approach is rooted in empathy.
Yes. She talks about the importance of understanding her team's individual challenges, especially working mothers.
And that's a hallmark of compassionate leadership. It's a style that's gaining a lot of traction these days. It's about recognizing that employees are whole people with lives outside of work
For sure.
and creating a supportive environment where they can thrive, both personally and professionally.
It's about fostering a sense of community and shared purpose, right? Rather than just like barking orders.
Precisely. Now, think about your own work environment. How could a little more empathy and understanding transform the way your team functions?
Okay, but here's the part I'm still trying to wrap my head around. She's a doctor, an entrepreneur, a philanthropist, a mother, a wife. How does she switch between all those hats without losing her mind?
She hints at it when she talks about painting and spending time with her kids.
Okay.
It's about finding that flow state,
That flow state.
that feeling of being completely present and absorbed in the current activity.
So whether she's leading a board meeting or playing with her kids, she's just fully present in that moment.
Exactly. And that kind of mindfulness, that ability to focus on the now, It's crucial for staying grounded and energized, especially when you're juggling as much as Dr. Sejan. Now, this brings us to a really interesting point that you picked up on her perspective on money. She calls herself a monk who didn't sell her Ferrari, which I have to admit is a fantastic way to put it.
Right. It's like she's acknowledging the drive and ambition it takes to achieve financial success, but also recognizing that it's not the be-all and end-all.
And that's where her background in Sufi philosophy really shines through. It's about striving for excellence,
Yeah.
but with the understanding that true fulfillment, it comes from something beyond material wealth. It's about using your success to make a positive impact on the world.
Which makes that line about money even more powerful, you know? She says, money, it's not something you should kill for. Those are strong words, especially coming from someone who's clearly not afraid of hard work or ambition.
It speaks to the danger of tying our self-worth solely to financial success, a trap that's easy to fall into, wouldn't you say? Dr. Sajan is reminding us that true wealth, it encompasses health, family, strong relationships, and contributing to something larger than ourselves.
It's about aligning your actions with your values, right?
Yeah.
And finding a sense of purpose that goes beyond just accumulating wealth.
Exactly. And speaking of aligning actions with values, let's talk about Dr. Sajan's bison approach to challenges.
Yes, I love this analogy. She talks about how bison, they face snowstorms head on. You know, instinctively knowing it's the fastest way through. They don't shy away from adversity.
It's such a powerful metaphor for how we can approach the storms in our own lives. What challenges are you facing right now? Dr. Sajan's bison approach, it encourages us to face them with courage and resilience, knowing that we'll emerge stronger on the other side.
It's about embracing the growth that comes from overcoming obstacles.
Precisely.
Yeah.
Now let's shift gears for a moment and talk about something that might seem counterintuitive at first glance. Dr. Sajan's concept of selfish charity.
Yeah, this one really made me think, how can giving be selfish? Isn't that a contradiction in terms?
It's a thought-provoking concept, right? But she's not advocating for selfishness in the traditional sense. What she's highlighting is the joy and fulfillment we inherently experience when we help others. It's recognizing that generosity is a renewable resource. The more we give, the more we have to give.
So it's selfish in the sense that it nourishes our own souls, even as we're reaching out to make a difference in the lives of others.
Exactly. And think about a time when you did something kind for someone else. Didn't it make you feel good? That's the selfish reward Dr. Sajan is talking about.
And that brings us to one of the most heartwarming parts of the interview, when Dr. Sajan talks about her nanny. You can tell how much she values her, not just as an employee, but as a person who loves and cares for her children.
It's a beautiful reminder that success isn't a solo endeavor. Dr. Sajan is surrounded by this network of support, and she recognizes and appreciates the contributions of everyone around her. It's about valuing the people who make our multifaceted lives possible.
Which leads us perfectly to her current bucket list goal, building a school for underprivileged children.
It's a perfect culmination of everything we've discussed today. Ambition combined with compassion, a deep desire to make a positive impact on the world.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into the incredible life of Dr. Sana Sajan, we're left with one final question for you. What does your bucket list say about what you truly value? What bison are you facing in your own life, and how can you apply Dr. Sajan's wisdom to your own unique journey?